Hi guys, my name is Vijay. I'm working as a tech lead, and apart from this, I will be handling the online training for the Java, JDW, and the frameworks. So, if you have any queries, just please raise your hand. Okay, make sure that you are in sync with me. So, this will be just starting from the we'll be starting from the scratch. Okay, people. So, I'll be getting started with the topic one that will be on Spring Framework, and the topic two would be on web services. So let's start with topic one, that is on the framework called Spring. So does anybody know what is a framework? So does anybody know what is a framework? Just you can talk. Simple. A framework is defined as a ready-made collection of libraries given by a specific vendor. Already we know that the vendor for Java is what? Sun Microsystems. Okay. As the time goes on, we know that we have some more vendors coming up. Like example, we are having the vendors giving the servers like web server. As you are familiar, we know that we have Apache Tomcat. It is given by which vendor? Apache Software Foundation. The similar way, if we are considering WebSphere, we know that it is what server? Application server. It is given by which vendor? IBM. So, can we totally rely on Sun Microsystems? No. Okay, this would not be possible. Like what we do is just we keep on integrating our applications with some other softwares like a web server, like Tomcat given by Apache, a WebSphere given by IBM, etc. So why not we can't stick to Sun? Why not we alone stick to Sun Microsystems? Okay, like we know that already Sun Microsystems has given different technologies. Like the core technologies, like you know that it is basic Java. That technology, it is servlets and JSPs. Apart from this, we are having some more technologies called the business technologies. You know what is a web technology? What is a web technology? It is a servlet or JSP. Using them, what we are able to do? Simple. We are able to build web applications like online shopping, online tourism, online library management system, etc. Okay. The similar way, we are having business technologies. They are also referred as the enterprise technologies. They are called EJB. EJB stands for the Enterprise Java Beans. So, what is the problem with EJB? The first problem would be, like around 10 years back or 15 years back, most of the developers were relying on EJB. Relying means not depending. EJB. So what is EJB? As I have told, it is a business technology. So what we do with a business technology? Simple. We create business application. Example, online banking, online stock marketing, online transaction processing, etc. So if already we have these many technologies in hand, then why we have to go for a framework? Simple. A framework provides a flexibility to develop your software. Okay. What I mean to say is, for example, we know that we are having some projects like a metro project. So if you want, you know that the customer for a metro project is LNT. Okay, what LNT is doing is LNT is giving his own requirements that I want the project to be completed by 2016 or 2017. So why LNT Infotech is why LNT Infotech is going for so many tools? Simple. The first one is so that it is more flexible. The second one is so that the project will be closed within the deadline. We can have a similar scenario for the software industry. Like a customer says that we want this project to be ended within this 6 months, or it will be within 1 year or 2 years. So if you want to cut down the development cost, the maintenance cost, the third one, the development time, etc., you can go for what? Frameworks. In the software industry, we have different frameworks. Like, the first one would be like, just hold on, all of you. The first one is called the web framework. Struts. Struts is what a web framework. It is for creating what applications? Web applications. Okay. The similar way, we are having top link. Top link is what? It is a framework. It is only for business applications. So for web applications, we are using Struts. And for business applications, what we are doing, we are shifting to something like top link. Okay. There will be some scenarios where you have to integrate your web application with a business application. Like for example, okay, you are having a login system whereby you want to integrate that with some online banking. You know that in online banking also we have some login system. You might have developed a login system using a web framework and a banking system by using something like a application framework like Kotlin. So it is not easy to integrate, since it's not that much flexible to integrate a web framework to an application framework. Okay? So in order to cut down on this, a new framework was released. It is called the Spring framework. So why now the software industry is that much dependent on Spring framework? Simple. When we are depending on Spring framework, not only we create web applications, what we can do is we can even build the enterprise applications. What I mean to say is, okay, Spring framework can be used for creating desktop applications. Not only that, web applications and even what? Business applications. So what we can do is, suppose I'm having a web application in hand. It is flexible for me to integrate that with what? A business application. Okay? So this would be one reason why the Spring was released. The second reason is, the major reason for the introduction of Spring is to create business applications. You know that a business application is what? It is meeting my business requirements. The best example for a business application would be online banking. So what was a classic model to create a business application? Simple. The developers were depending on EJB. EJB stands for what? Enterprise Java Beans. So if already we have EJB, then why we are jumping into Spring? The first reason is, if we depend on EJB, okay, what happens is we have to spend more time to create our applications. Not only that, it takes more time to test our applications. We know that a development and testing are what? Cyclic. Suppose if there is any failure in testing, the same issues are escalated to whom? The development team. So what happens is, at the end, it would be the product would be hard to develop and even hard to test. So in order to meet all these challenges, okay, the framework called Spring was released. Okay, yeah. So up to now, just we have discussed what is a framework, okay, what are the different types of frameworks, and why we require Spring. Okay, yeah. So before moving further, we need to know some fundamental concepts, like the concept of a dependency. Okay, like what is dependency? Like I want to just take out an example. It's something like, you know that in Java we have different types of things like generalization. So what do you mean by generalization? Simple. It is the concept of inheritance. And we are having what? We are having the concept of realization. Realization means stand for implementing an interface. What is it? It stands for what? It stands for the implementation of an interface. And apart from this, we are having something like association. And the other thing would be, we are having the concept of aggregation. And the other thing would be, we have the concept of dependency. Okay? We know that in generalization, we are having what relationship? We know that we are having user relationship. So what is that one called? It's called user relationship. Okay? Then what about association and aggregation? Okay? Here we have a relationship like has a relationship. What's it? Has a relationship. Like for example, a library can have what? A set of books. Yeah? So if you want to implement has a relationship, either I can go for association I can go for what? Aggregation. Then what is dependency? Okay, then what is dependency? Simple to define. What is dependency? Simple. Okay, in Java, we cannot solely depend on a single class. For example, I have a class called class. Okay, whereby we are having a method, something like move, or like void move. So, if you want to move the class, so what we depend on, we require one more entity, which is called what? Wheel. What is that one called? Wheel. So unless we have a wheel, can we move the car? No. So this is called dependency. Like car is depending on what wheel for what? Its motion. So what we can do here is, I can take one more method, something like public void rotate. What is this? It's called the public void rotate. So suppose I'm just removing this wheel class. So can we move the car? No. So what is this one called? The concept of dependency. So here, you know that Java is what? Object-oriented language. So in our class, what we have to do is, we need to create what? We need to create the object of wheel class. Something like wheel. I can take wheel1, and somewhere in the below section, we need to write wheel1 equals what? New wheel. Here? Okay? So here we have to know some terminology. We know that how is depending on wheel. So what is wheel called? Here wheel is called the dependent class. What is it called? It's called as the dependent class. Okay? And if you consider the line, for example, I'm taking as the line, otherwise the step 1. If you consider step 1, you know that we are taking the object of which class? Dependent class. So what is this object called? It is called as the dependent object. What is it called? It is called as the dependent object. Okay? So what was the classic model? Our classic model means it was a model that was used in the traditional software industry. One of the classic model was, we are treating the dependent objects, like wheel1 equals new wheel. Okay? So what is the problem here? The problem here would be creating the dependent objects. Suppose I'm taking step 1. So can we move the car? No. So if we are not creating the dependent object, the first problem would be, okay, we may not be able to move the car. Yeah? Okay? Yeah? So after creating the dependent object, then what we can do here is, that we can call which method? We can call the rotate method. So what is the problem? What's the problem here? You may feel simple. Okay, you say that I'm taking only one dependent object. But if you are considering a very large software, like if you are considering a very large software, we have to create so many dependent objects. So these objects should be treated what? Programmatically. Okay? So these objects will be treated even we are using them or we are not using them. So the memory management would be typical for who? For the programmer and even for the VM. Okay? Suppose I don't want to move the car. Suppose at a later stage, I don't want to work with car class. I mean to say, I don't want to move the car itself. But what happened? Already have created this object. Am I right? Since already you have created this object, definitely this object should be stored there in the RAM. So the memory management would be okay, typical, and sometimes it would become complex. Okay? So if you want to cut down this, simple, we can use a framework that is called the Spring framework. Okay? So what does Spring framework promise? Simple. It promises me the concept of dependency injection. What's this? It promises me the concept of dependency injection. So what is dependency injection? Simple. Already I told what is dependency. Dependency means one class is dependent on what? The other class. For example, here we have the class called class, whereby it is dependent on what? The class called view. And what's the other thing? The other thing is, already I have told that we are creating what object? Dependent object. So if you want to cut down this, I need to say, if you want to cut down step 1, simple, I can move to a framework that's called the Spring framework. So what is Spring promising me? Simple. It is saying that I'll create the dependent objects. So what is Spring saying? I'll do step 1 from my side. Okay? So this would be the one step. And what is the other step it is carrying out? It says that I'll pass this object to the required class. Required class means car class. Suppose I'm creating the same application in Spring. We can remove step 1. Okay? What I mean to say is, the dependent object can be created by the framework itself. And the other thing is, what Spring will do is, it will pass this object to which class? To the car class. So how it is done? Suppose I want to create the same application using Spring. Simple. I create a class called car, and thereby just we have take wheel 1. And the other thing would be, I will take a method which is called the setter method, something like wheel. What we call the setter method. And here in the below section, just we need to take this dot is equal to wheel. Now, if I am depending on Spring framework, what is it doing for me? Simple. The step 1 is, it will create my dependent object. And step 2 would be, it will pass this dependent object to a method that's called a setter method. Okay? So, we know that Java is what type of language? Object-oriented language. So, if you want to pass an entity, what we require? Either we can use a constructor or we can use a method. We know that already we have the entity. What entity? The dependent object. So what we want? We want to pass it to which class? To the car class. One way is, I can use a setter method. Suppose I do not want to use a setter method. Then what's the other thing? The other thing would be, I can take what? I can take a constructor. So either I can go for a setter method, and the other thing would be, I can use what? I can use a constructor. So here, just I will write a snippet of code. This dot wheel1 equal to wheel1. Okay? So here we can find two types of injection. If the Spring framework is using a setter method, it is called a setter injection. Suppose I don't want to use it. I want to use a constructor. Then what is it called? It's called as the constructor injection. Okay? So it will be either a setter injection or a constructor injection. So what is the common thing we can examine? The common thing we can examine is, what is Spring doing? It is injecting the dependent object. So this is a very simple example to, let's say, a dependency injection. So how it is done? Simple. What we have to do is, you know that in web application, what we are doing, we are creating the XML file like web.xml. Okay? The similar way, in Spring, we create some XML files we call as the Spring-config. What's it called? It's called as the Spring-config. So by using this XML file, what we can do? We can implement a setter injection, or we can implement what? A constructor injection. Okay? And the other thing we have to notice, the other feature Spring supports is, the feature is, Spring is lightweight. What is it? It is a lightweight framework. So why it is lightweight? Means what I can say is, why it is a lightweight? Okay, simple. What do you mean by lightweight? Lightweight means it is flexible to build, and the second thing would be flexible to maintain, and the third thing would be flexible to test. Okay, flexible to test. So how I can say that Spring is a lightweight framework? Okay, so here we have two reasons. The recent one would be in Spring we are using some objects which are called POJOs. So what does a POJO stand for? Simple. It stands for something like a plain old Java object. What is that? Plain old Java object. Okay. For example, previously we are taking a class called class. In Spring, what is this class considered as? Simple. It is considered as a POJO. POJO means plain old Java object. The similar way, we are having one more class called wheel. So what is wheel considered as? Simple. Wheel is considered as what? A POJO class. The similar way, for example, I want to create a banking application. For example, I want to create a banking application. So if I want to create a banking application, we can have different modules. Like we can have a module for loan management. Am I right? Something like loan management. Module 1. Module 1. Yeah? Okay. We can have one more module like module 2. That would be for what? That would be for online transactions. So what I can do, I can take one more class like online transactions. Okay? And see here, okay, these are called what? POJOs. Loan management. This is for what? Managing the loans. Okay? And the other one is online transactions. In Spring, currently only staff and marketing online.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello? Hello? Is it audible? Hello? Hello? Is it audible? Hello? Shall we continue? Sampat. Like, is Malleshwar is available? Yeah. See here, okay? Like, just I want to put a live example. Majorly, Spring is a framework for creating what applications? Enterprise applications. The best example is banking app, a banking app. You know that in a banking app, we have different modules. Like, one of them is a loan management. The other one would be online transactions. The other thing would be whereby I have to make the online payment, etc. Yeah, online payment. So in Spring Framework, what we do is we consider each of them as what? A POJO. So how we can define a POJO? Okay? Simple. A POJO is similar to a beam. What is it? A POJO is similar to a beam. You know what is a beam? A Java beam. We know that in a Java beam, what we have properties. The second one, we can have the setter methods. And the third thing is, we can have what? We can have the getter methods. What's the other thing? The other thing is, we can even have the business methods. What's that? We can have what? Even the business methods. Yeah? Okay? POJO is what? Similar to a beam. So, you may put a question then, beam can also become a POJO. Am I right? You may say that bean is also a Pojo. I said, so like you put me a question, Pojo is like a bean, then why bean cannot be a Pojo? Simple, like I am putting the difference. The differences would be, in a bean class, normally we have only a default constructor, am I right? Otherwise we have only the null constructor. Then what about Pojo? In a Pojo, we can have a param constructor. What is it? We can have what? We can have a param constructor. The second thing would be, in a Pojo, okay, what we can do is, okay, what a Pojo does, it implements, it can extend only user-defined entities. What is this? Only user-defined entities. What is this user-defined entities? Simple. For example, I want to perform serialization. For example, I am taking a class called employee and I want to serialize this object. This object, the object of employee class. So what we do normally, to perform serialization, we are implementing which interface? We are implementing serializable. What is it? Serializable. We know that we are implementing which interface? Serializable interface. I mean to say, employee is a class which is tightly coupled with the Java library. We know that serializable is what? The part of Java library. So to build this employee class, we should know what interface, we should know what is serializable interface. Am I right? So what is my requirement? Simple. My requirement is I want to serialize this object. So if you want to serialize this object, normally what we do, we are implementing this interface, serializable interface. Clear? So can I, the similar way, what I can do here, I can take some properties. Private string, the employee ID. What is this? I can take the employee ID and we can take what? The employee salary. The other thing would be, what we can do is, I can take employee name. And below what we can do, we can take the setter method and we can take what? We can take the getter methods. And on the requirement, we can take some business methods. So, what is employee here? You can say that employee here is a bean class. What's that? A bean class. So, can I call it as a Pojo class? No. So, what is the problem here? Why I cannot call employee as a Pojo class? If I am designing a Pojo class, normally it will not implement the library things. Library things means which are present in Java library. Okay? It will not extend any class which is present in the library. So what is a Pojo? If you want to define a Pojo, Pojo will not implement or extend any class or interface present in the library. What is present in the library? So if a Pojo is not implementing or extending any class, then what is the flexibility for me? Simple. I am having a thin learning curve. What is it? I am having what? I am having a thin learning curve. What do you mean by thin learning curve? Thin learning curve means here you need to know about serializable. Am I right? The similar way, for example, I want to create a thread. We know that it should extend which class? Thread class. So already we should be familiar about thread class, or we should be already familiar with what? Runnable interface. So it is increasing my time. Increasing my time means I have to know about a thread class, or I need to know about what? Runnable interface. So what about a Pojo? If I am depending on Pojo, what I say that it did not implement or it did not extend any class that is present in the Java library. So what a developer can do, depending on the requirement, he can create his own Pojo. Okay? For example, he can take a loan management system, whereby he can implement his own interface or extend his own class. Okay? Is it clear, all of you? So these are some of the differences between a bean class and Pojo. A Pojo is similar to a bean, but it is not exactly equivalent to a bean. So some of the differences would be, in a Pojo, you can have a param constructor, we can implement or extend only what? User-defined entities. Okay? Is it clear? All of you? Okay? So what's the other thing? The other thing would be, in a project class, we can have business methods like loan management. What we can do? I can take apply for a loan. For that, we can apply for a loan. The other thing would be like whereby we have to process the loan. Clear or not? Okay? And what about online transaction? You know that online transaction, public void, okay, public void online transfer. So what is it? It's something like online transaction. And the other thing would be public void unit statement. So what's my requirement? I want to generate a unit statement. Okay? Module 3 would be online payment. Thereby, I have to make the payment of bill. Payment of what? Payment of the bills. Are you getting it, people? So you may put me a question that I can do the same thing even with Java. Am I right? You say that I can take a class called loan management, whereby I can write the method supply loan, whereby I can write even one more method process loan. Am I right? Okay. You say that, see, at the beginning level, everything becomes simple. You say that I can take even the same thing in Java, right? You say that by using core Java itself, I can build all these applications, am I right? Then why we are going for frameworks? Okay? See, all of you, these are what? Business applications. See, when we are implementing a business applications, okay, we require so many types of logic. So we know that here we are having some methods like apply loan, process loan. The other thing would be online transfer, a mini statement, yeah? The other thing is the payment of bill. So what are these called? These are called business methods. What are these methods called? Business methods. So when we are creating a business application, normally who is creating a business application? These are called the business developers. What they are called? These are called the business developers. Like we have a web application. A web application it is created by the web developer. The similar way, a business application it is created by the business developer. So what is business developer has to do? Simple. You need to write what method? Business methods. What is business methods? So what logic we write? Let's call as business method. Example. I'm taking online transaction. You know that here we have a module online transaction. And what we want to do? Online transfer. So what I'll do? Here what I have to do? Just simple. Just I have to consider what? I have to consider how many accounts? We need to consider the source account. And the second thing would be we need to consider what? The destination account. And the third thing would be we need to make what? We need to make the online transfer. So what logic we write here? Simple. We are writing the business logic. So we are just deducting some balance from source account and we are adding some balance to whom? To the destination account. So what is that logic? Business logic. So if I write a business logic, is it enough for me? No. See, after you are making online transfer, see what is online transfer? We know that it is a transaction, am I right? You know that it is what? It is a transaction. So if you want to implement a transaction, what logic we write? For example, you know JDBC, no? People? In JDBC, we are having what transactions, am I right? You are writing con.commit or con.rollback. This is what logic? Transaction logic. Suppose I am not taking a transaction or if I am not implementing a transaction. If you are going to the ATM, what do you find? Transactions. If you are working with online banking, what you are finding? Transactions. So if you want to implement transactions, what logic we write? We are writing what logic? We are writing the transaction logic. The other thing would be, after we have done with the transaction, what we have to do? We have to update the database in database. Here in the database. Thereby, we write what logic? It is called as the persistence logic. What is called? This is called as the persistence logic. What is called? Persistence logic. Apart from this, we need to implement what? A logging mechanism. What is it? A logging mechanism. So what is logging? You know what is a business logic? It is a logic you write in business method. You know what is a transaction logic? It's a logic to implement what? Transaction. You know what is a persistence logic? Persistence logic means it is for performing what operation? Stored operations. Stored operations means create, update, delete, etc. Then what is this logging mechanism? Why we require logging? Simple. Okay. Why we require logging? Simple people. For example, we are going to ATM. You know that in an ATM, we are able to perform what? We are able to perform withdrawal. The other thing would be, okay, we need to perform what? Deposit. We can even perform what? We need to perform deposit. The other thing would be, okay, whereby we can make online transfer. The other thing would be like whereby we need to generate what? A video statement. So what we have to do is we need to generate logs. What are these logs? For example, I'm in withdrawal method. What I have to do? I have to generate logs. I have to know whether I have reached the withdrawal method or not. So what I'll do? Started withdrawal. So I say I'm putting a log. Started the withdrawal. What operation? Started the withdrawal operation. And I'm writing what? I'm writing my business name. Yes? And what I do? I'll write logger.info whereby, okay, I'll write completed withdrawal. I'll say that the transaction is completed. Yeah? The similar way, what we do is, we have to write the same logs for deposit and even for what? Online transfer and even for mini statement. Yeah? Okay? So, we know that we are writing business logic and even what we do, we write the transaction logic. Are you getting it? Transaction logic. And even we are writing the logic for what? For logging. Suppose, if you want to handle the exception, what we do? Yes, we are putting what? The try block. And we are putting what? The catch block. The below section, catch. And just we know that we are handling an exception, TXA. And here we need to put one more log, whereby this something like logger.error, whereby, okay, we write the transaction is declined. What is it? Transaction is declined. So what is the problem here? At the top level, we are finding a method called withdrawal. So when you have started defining this method, it is simple. Okay, it is simple, like, okay, I have written a withdrawal method. Okay, but here we find different types of logic. Like, you are writing a logic for logging. You are writing a logic for what? To implement your business operation. You are writing a logic for what? To implement your transaction. Not only that, what you are doing is, you are writing a logic to hit the database. It means communicate with the database. So here what you do is, you are putting a business logic, transaction logic, a logic for logging, and even a logic for persistence. The last thing would be, we need to have even a logic to implement the security. Am I right? Security logic. What I mean to say, here we require security. Security means, suppose I want to perform a withdrawal. If I am swiping an invalid debit card, can we perform the withdrawal? No. Before we are making the withdrawal, the card should be valid. I mean, it should be authenticated. So what we require is, we require authentication, and the second thing would be, we require what? We require the authorization. So unless we are doing the authentication or we are implementing the authorization, okay, can we perform the withdrawal? No. So what is this logic? Security logic. What is authentication here? Make sure that the card is valid. And what is authorization? Make sure that the PIN number is valid. So what logic we write? Security logic. See here, all of you. So within this method, withdrawal, what you are doing? You are writing a different logic. Logic for login, a logic for business, a logic for transaction, a logic for persistence, and even what? A logic for security. So when you are starting your development, it may be easy for you. But after, suppose the software is taking a new version. New version is, normally it starts with what? 1.0. Suppose after some time, the version may become 4.0 or 5.0, right? So when we are moving to a version of 5.0, the code will be hard to maintain. Hard to maintain means, suppose I want to perform enhancement. I have to read, so first I have to read this logic, and then this logic, and then this logic, etc. So what is the problem here? The problem is, within a single module, you are writing everything. So what the requirement is, in withdrawal method, I want to maintain only the business logic. Like I don't want to put any logic for logging, I don't want to put any logic for transaction, or I don't want to put any logic for persistence. What I mean to say is, I want to modularize. Submodularize means withdrawal. I want one entity to take care of logging. Similarly, I want an entity to take care of security. I want one more entity to take care of transactions, and I want one more entity to take care of persistence. So what we are doing is, like, we are submodularizing our app. Submodularizing. Why we have to submodularize? Simple, for an easy maintenance. The first reason would be for an easy maintenance, and the other reason would be debugging. Debugging is fixing the bugs. Suppose we have the production department. In our software, we have maintenance environment, the production environment. Okay, we are having the development environment. What the development environment do? Suppose they are writing all this within withdrawal method. They will escalate the same thing to some maintenance environment. What the maintenance environment has to do? They have to read the entire things. So they may feel a bit complex. You see the logins, you see the business, you see the transactions, and even you see the processes, etc. They may feel a bit complex to read this entire terms. So they say that why they are not modularized. So they talk to the development team. New development team, they are not implementing transactions in a different entity. They are why you are not maintaining the persistence in different entity. So if they are taking a different entity, like the app would be easy to maintain. Not only that, the app would be easy to test. So how I can shut down all this? Simple. Okay. You can go from different frameworks. Like to maintain persistence logic, I can go for a framework of Hibernate. Here. So what does Spring do? Okay, we need not even jump to Hibernate because what Spring says is, Spring says that only I have an entity to handle the persistence logic. What Spring says is, already I have an entity to handle the logging. What Spring says is, already I have an entity to handle the persistence. Not only that, what Spring says is, already we have an entity to implement the security. Okay? So, what Spring promises is, Spring says that, what is Spring? Spring is a modular framework. What type of framework? Spring is what? A modular framework. So, when compared to struts, okay, what is struts? Struts is a web framework. What type of framework? Web framework. And what about Hibernate? Hibernate is it's called as a persistence framework. What's it? Persistence framework. Then the similar way, what we are having is, we are having Spring. So what is Spring called as? It is called as the web application framework. So when compared to struts and Hibernate, what would be a big difference in Spring? Simple. In Spring, what do you find? In Spring, we find modules. What do you find? We find the modules. Like, see here, just have a glance here, all of you. This I'll show you the different modules in Spring. Okay? Like, see here, in Spring, what we find? In Spring, we find different modules. The first one is called the core module. What is the first one called? It's called as the core module. The second one is called the AOP module. The third one, the module. The similar way, we have some more modules like forum, web module, and GTW module. Okay? All of you? I hope everybody is there. As I have told, Spring is what? A modular framework. One compared to Hibernate and one compared to Struts. In Hibernate, we don't have any modules, submodules. The same way, in Struts also, we don't have any submodules. Then what about Spring? Spring has different modules. Like why Spring was coming up with modules? Simple. I told that Spring can be used for what? Desktop application. So if you want to get desktop application, we have a separate module. It's called as what? A core module. So as suppose you are a core developer, then you can rely on only core module. I mean to say you need not touch the other module. So we have some loose coupling here. Loose coupling means we can directly hit the core module and we can close our application. For example, if you are a web developer, what you can do is you can just get into this module, web module. For example, I want to hit the database. It means I want to communicate with database. We have two modules. The first one is dev module. Dev stands for data access object. It is based on the core technology JDBC. If you want to have more flexibility, we can have one more module. It's called ORM. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. And we do have one more module, JW. Why is it JW? We can create a business application like online banking, online stock market analysis, online transaction processing, etc. If you want to implement some system level services, suppose I want to go for some system level services like transaction, I want to implement transaction, I want to implement security, and I want to implement some logging, etc. We do have one more module, it's called as the AOP module. AOP stands for Aspect Oriented Programming. So this is a short demo from my side. Thanks a lot all of you for attending.